How's it going, Gremlins? We're going to continue working on the engine bay. So far, I've got quite a bit done and cleaned up, so let's jump in the video and see how the progress looks. I got most of it wiped off, cleaned up pretty good. Looks a lot better than it did. Got a little bit of a shine to it instead of being so nasty. Not the control arm. The lower A-frame, subframe, whatever you want to call it, that still's soaking in stuff and say it's still pretty nasty. Got some rust on it. I do need to bang this wheel well out, so I need to figure out how to get that fender off, and if I can do it with it being the tire still on it, I guess. The stuff back here that's a little rougher, a lot more rusty, and the little bit right there, I did take a little bit of some Evapor rust. So I've never used it before, supposedly it works good. So I kind of gonna let that soak for about a half hour. We'll come back and see how much is left. So any bit that takes off will be great. Say that much less, I got a wire wheel. For the most part, the interior of the engine bay is not too bad, in all honesty. So I know this side over here is a lot better shape than this side. I think a lot of the stuff over here is just from where the paint's got ate off. Probably from when they put in the brake fluid or the power steering fluid or something like that, got down on there and just ate the paint away. Say most of your stuff here's got a little bit of wear and tear on it, but say that's kind of normal for the most part. So I should be able to clean this up, and for the most part, honestly, I only really need to paint, say just this back side, and maybe, I mean, obviously that bracket and stuff again, but we'll get to that eventually. The rest of it don't look too bad. So I'd like to get the spot down here where originally, let's say there's the piece like on here, it hangs over. I don't know if you can see it, if it'll focus on it, but there's normally this bracket here that's bolted on. That side's missing it, so I figured I'd hit some paint. I'm not sure where that bracket is or what it even goes to, so I'll have to figure that one out at some point. So making progress, slow but steady, and hopefully by the end of this video we'll have an engine bay that's ready to go. So it might take another day or so. We'll see how long it takes. So plans to work on it throughout the weekend, get it all cleaned up, and while we're taking breaks on that, I still have the engine over here, kind of walked away, but and the wiring harness in here. So once the engine bay is all cleaned up, we'll start working on getting that harness in. For the most part, I want to bang this wheel well out and get some paint in it before I start messing with the harness. So yeah, so hopefully by the end of this weekend I'll have a wiring harness in here, and the engine looks to be in decent shape. Like I said, the heads are sent off, still waiting on it. So I got it all cleaned up, ready to go. So I do need to hone the cylinders and probably take the oil pan off, just make sure everything underneath is all clean and good to go. So none of these there's no hollow sounds to any of them. They all sound good. So hopefully it was just a head gasket and that's all that was wrong with this. I do have one dilemma. I need to figure out how to get this off to retime it. Right now it just free spins, which is sort of a problem. So I tried holding the timing belt and that didn't really work. So probably got to find some way to latch onto that. It is already in pretty rough shape, so I might just use the new one I got for it, and just, if I destroy this one, I destroy it trying to get it off. I do have a pipe wrench, although I don't think it'll be big enough, but I might be able to find some way to use it and get on there, maybe like a screwdriver or something to kind of wedge it on. We'll find out, but I'll figure a way to get it off one way or another. Like I said, if I mess the wheel up, I messed the wheel up. I ordered a second one that's in a lot better shape, so it's brand new, nice and pretty. So hopefully I can get it off without destroying it. We can clean it up and maybe soak it some of that Evapor rust to get the rust off it, clean the grooves up, and move on. Back in the engine bay, trying to clean up all the rust the best I can. Just using a wire wheel, some rags, and some cleaner. I know I'm making one heck of a mess spraying the rust dust everywhere, so I'll point that out later on in the video. But it's nasty, and took quite a good while to get it all out, but it looks a lot better once I'm done. Alright, so we got pretty much everything painted. So it looks a lot better. So I still got to hit it with a second coat yet. So I'll probably have to do a few touch-ups from where I painted over here earlier, and then let it dry to see how it looked before I moved on to where all this stuff was. But so I'll put a before and after for this also, so you can see that. There is a few spots. I got a little overzealous with the paint. I say it's spray paint, so it's a little hard to do with everything in the car. So I got a little on the clutch cylinder, master cylinder, then a little bit on the brake booster here. But for the most part, this whole side is nice and clean and nice and prettied up. So I did put a light up to make it a little easier for me. I do need to kind of clean it off with all the dust and debris from where I was grinding off all the rust from over here. So all I used for paint was a little bit of the Rust-Oleum primer. I figure with it being rusty, it's supposed to help with rust. And then I use a little bit of the high enamel, high performance enamel that's just black paint. So for the most part, it's, I mean, come a long way. So I still got to work on this front bar here. One of the guys I work with has actually a whole like front clip from like the front fender wells cut in half forward. So I need to look at his and see how it looks before I start messing with it. I don't know exactly what it's supposed to look like. I mean, I have a general idea, but that'll probably be something for later. I mean, worst case scenario, it looks like I can probably cut it off right here, and then on that side, or even there, and then in the middle, and then weld it, put some support in or something. So we'll have to see what it looks like on the other car and the front clip. So I got a general idea what I'm looking at. It might be usable and savable. I'm just not sure at this point. So without some photos or going and looking at it myself, I'm not really positive on it. But say it's come a long way. So hopefully the paint will dry. So I'll put one more coat on it before I leave it for the night. It's dark out now. I started this at 10 o'clock this morning, and it's probably 8 o'clock at night right now. So it's been a long day. I'm gonna put one more coat before I go in, get something to eat, and hopefully tomorrow I can start on getting the wire harness in. I'm not sure exactly where it's all gonna go because there's like nothing in there. It's a blank engine bay. So I mean, I know the headlights go up here, the horns here, you know, headlight here. As far as the rest of it, not a clue. So we're going to kind of do it as we go and see how things turn out. I do know I am missing a couple, which I believe those are in the headlight, or not the headlight, the wire and harness kit. I got one there and then one over there. But I am missing a couple firewall plugs. I believe that's where the AC went through. So I'll probably have to find something to plug those holes with. But I'll cross that bridge when we get there. Say there's a lot to do yet before I got to worry about plugging holes. So on that note, I think we're done for now. So if you want to see this project goes, consider liking, subscribing. I've been posting photos on Instagram as I do stuff. So hopefully you guys are following that. If not, you can follow it at Speed Gremlins, or vice versa. If you're on Instagram, you can follow this Speed Gremlins on YouTube. Say there's a lot of work to do. Say tons and tons to go. Say once it's running, which hopefully is sooner than later, there's still a lot of body work to go. So follow for the project and we'll see how it goes.